Hey guys, I'm Jay.
And I'm Patrick.
And we're here in Orange County, California in Modjeska Canyon.
At Arden, Helena Modjeska's historic house and gardens. Managed by the OC Park System, this National Historic Landmark, it's right here in our backyard. So we decided today we're going to go and explore the grounds and see what it's all about.
So come along with us on this adventure and let's explore Modjeska's house and gardens.
So in 1873, this homestead was built in this small cottage here for the Pleasance family. In 1888, they sold it to Helena Modjeska, and she built this home. Basically adding on from the original cottage to make it into what at the time would be called a mansion. It's a beautiful home. And we're going to take a deeper look. So, who is Helena Modjeska? An actress from Poland who, in the late 1800s, decided to come to California. And when she did, she originally settled in Anaheim. That didn't work out too well, so she bought this property out in the canyon and moved out here into Arden. She was very, very famous in her time. And she was a Shakespearean actress who had a huge following. And she would cross-country, do shows. She had her own train car. And then come back home here to beautiful Orange County. This is her home and where she lived up until she retired and decided to live out the rest of her days in Newport Beach, which is where she died. Oddly enough, and so different than current times, through bad investments between her and her husband and so forth. She didn't have a lot of money when she died, but because she didn't have much money, she had to move into a home on the beach in Newport Beach because that's where the low-income housing was. Let's just say that's a lot different than how it is today, right?
What? Is this a wishing well? Well, it's gotta be. This is the well house. I'm wishing for the one I love. Oh wait, I can't wish. It's locked. It's all boarded up on top. I guess I gotta find a 4-leaf clover on the grounds to make my wish. So, up down that way, there's a path along a wall, and what does that lead to?
So it was an old staircase. You can see part of it. You can't see the slats anymore, but you can see part of the frame that led up to the upper level portion where there would be some olive trees.
Okay.
And so her husband, Count Vicenta, was growing olive trees to try to make some olive oil as part marketing, part funding
Gotcha.
for the ranch here. And so that's a little staircase you can explore over in that direction.
Very cool. Around the rose garden over here, across the way to the creek, there's the remnants of the bridge.
There is. So in that general direction, there's 2 stone pillars. The bridge has since been washed out. It's been washed out twice over about 50 years or so. The creek gets pretty high in this area, as you can hear it running right now, and it washed it out a couple of times. But we still have the 2 remnants of the pillars that are right there, so you can see where it's pretty narrow. Today's modern car, maybe a Mini Coupe or something, can go over it, but it was very small, and so that was where buggies would normally go over and cross the way from the road, and that would be the driveway, which is now still lined today with all the palm trees that you can kind of see the pathway flow for that.
And the other bridge that's that way, when was that built?
That's more modern. That's definitely within the past 10 years or so was added, so that's a newer modern feature.
Very cool.
Yeah.
There's a swimming pool?
Yeah, so there's a swimming pool. We kind of put that in quotes. It was known as Vicenta's swimming pool, potentially the first swimming pool of Orange County, which is kind of a neat little feature there. But Madame Modjeska herself was not fondly taken to it. It was a little gross by her standards because there'd be pollywogs and other types of
so it's more of a
creatures in it.
naturalistic type swimming pool,
Yes.
not a chlorinated
No,
swimming
not by
pool that we know
today's
today.
definitions. No, but the kids, her grandkids, would take little rowboats and whatnot and go in through it, and they would
Oh,
have
really neat.
a fun time exploring.
The aviary that was there too. When was that built?
So that was next to the swimming pool area. That was kind of during her time. It was an aviary for different types of birds that she would keep there. And then after her, it was the country club era, and then the Walker family lived here. So this is talking over a span of about 80 years or so after her. That would kind of continue on that tradition of having home animals here on the home grounds. Yeah.
Very cool. Thank you. And
Yeah.
and who runs this area now?
So this is an OC Parks facility. So this is technically called Arden, Helena Modjeska Historic House and Gardens. And so it's a county park run. It's about one of 8 historical parks that we have within the OC Parks family.
Okay.
And there's over 30 different parks that you can go explore. Wilderness parks and regional parks, beaches. We even have a zoo within the OC Park system.
Right.
So definitely explore more of these.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah, you're
And it's
welcome.
in our own backyard too.
Literally in our backyard.
And it is my first time being here after
Awesome.
living here for several decades.
It's a little gym. Not a lot of people know about it, but you have Modjeska Canyon, Modjeska Peak, which is technically 50% of Saddleback Mountain.
Oh,
That's
okay.
all named for her. That's kind of
Great.
neat.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
We are going to continue exploring. Thank you. Hey, nobody's home at the hexagonal garden house built in 1888.
So this is the Walker Pool. It was in 1923 that the Walker family bought this property, and they used it as a vacation resort destination for the family. And this is a pool that they built while they were here. It's not in use anymore.
Yeah, I don't think we're going swimming.
No, I'd be afraid to, especially with all the barbed wire around it. But yeah, pretty neat little bit of history for after Modjeska left.
And from the looks of things, we've got some really busy woodpeckers in the area. Look how they've built all these holes and shoved their acorns to store. So if you're going to be moving to Modjeska Canyon, maybe one of the things to be looking out for are woodpeckers in your area, because your house is going to look like Swiss cheese.
The Modjeska Guest House. This is where Helena Modjeska's guests would stay after taking that long trip all the way out here into the canyon. They'd end up staying overnight and in this guest house.
Oh boy, it feels just like the good old days back in 1888, when you'd sit down on the porch, relax, and listen to the creek nearby.
Ooh, I sure could go for some sweet tea right now.
Sweet tea? This isn't the South, this is California.
Oh, I sure could go for a quad shot, half calf, mocha, latte, extra whip. No? Well, we'll just sit back at Modjeska's guest house and sit a spell.
Check this out. I think this is where Modjeska used to keep her pet crocodile. She was so cool.
So behind us right now is the stone building, and this was built in 1876, which would predate Helena Modjeska owning this property.
Check out the outside of this structure. Bottom level is stone masonry. Top level is a wood structure. Oh, but where's that door go? I'd hate to walk out that.
Let's take a look inside, shall we?
Ooh, look at this. It's actually quite a bit colder in here, which makes sense why they would store things like fruit and vegetables in here. And there's the second level with the... That's the wooden structure. I don't know how to get up there. Maybe there was a ladder that from the outside to get in? Ooh, check it out. Fresh olives. Oh, don't mind if I do. Wait a minute.
Fun fact, in November, the county, Orange County, was able to get a grant to pay to refurbish this building.
Oh, I think we found a way to the second level here. Ah, there's some steps. Oh, there we go. And there's a door up here.
Hey, so in 1913, Arden, it became a vacation resort. When that happened, a few new buildings were added to the property, one of them being the store. Dating back to 1913, this was the store for the vacation resort. You can't buy much in it anymore. Looks like it's more storage, but it's really cool inside. It's like a mix of real antiques and maybe stuff used for the park now. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a old stove down there.
And an internet router.
This place is a National Historic Landmark. One of two in Orange County, the other one being the Nixon historic site. But that's pretty cool. One of two in the county. Here we are.
Look at these weird Orange County mushrooms. I wonder if I eat them if I'll turn into a housewife.
So behind me is one of the original two fountains that Helena Modjeska built on this property in front of the home. They're symmetrical and equal distance from the home, which really makes it look even more grand. The Memorial Rock. Our last little stop before we head out of Arden. Well, as we were leaving Arden, we ended up taking a wrong turn. Well, actually a right turn, and took us into the Tucker Wildlife Sanctuary. We had no idea this place was even back here.
Oh, I'm excited. I don't even know what I'm looking to seeing inside, but here we are.
So I'm here with John. We're at Tucker Wildlife Sanctuary, right? And can you tell us a little more about this place?
Okay. The Tucker Wildlife Sanctuary is owned by Cal State Fullerton School Continuing Education. It's about 11 acres, mainly planted with native plants, not 100%.
So it consists of the Science Center here, the museum and
You know, the Natural Science Center, we have a museum, displays lots of things that little kids can come in and look at and touch without getting into trouble.
Thank you very
Very
much.
All right, you guys, thank you.
Have a good day.
All right, bye-bye.
Oh, we're walking through the cactus garden. Check it out. Look at all the prickly pear. Whoa, wouldn't want to fall in that. Oh, it's so beautiful out here. You got the prickly pear cactus with a stream right behind. Oh my God, I want to live here. Wow. Boy, we got lucky stumbling across this place. Ooh, it's my favorite California local plant. California white sage. This is the stuff that you burn to smudge your home and purify the air and to meditate. Really cool stuff. And check this rock out. It's like covered with fossils. How awesome is that? This sign over here is kind of warning me about rattlesnakes. I'm not sure if it's warning me or tempting me, because if there's rattlesnakes over there, I'm gonna head that way. So this wildlife sanctuary is named after Mr. Benjamin Tucker, who lived in Long Beach, where he held a position at Farmers Bank. He was a celebrated philanthropist. His most noted achievement was fundraising efforts for the children's wing at a local hospital. And he was also an avid bird watcher. When his wife passed away, he ended up leaving behind this property and donating it to the Audubon Society. So one of the most notable things about Benjamin Tucker was he was one of the developers of what we know of as the modern day hummingbird feeder. That was one thing we didn't know about. Hummingbird feeders were developed here in Orange County. This is the Tucker home, and in front of it you could see what Benjamin Tucker really loved to do is watching birds and finding ways to care for them. So we left the Tucker Natural Center, and they have a cool gift shop there. Look what they had! A rattlesnake hat! Of course I couldn't pass a good gift shop, but I really couldn't pass up a really cool hat, especially with a rattlesnake on it.
So while we were over at Tucker Wildlife Sanctuary, a guide told us that we needed to come over to the Silverado Cafe. It's down in Silverado Canyon, probably about 2 miles away from Modjeska Canyon, and so we decided to venture out here. Here we are, so we're gonna go have our lunch here.
We didn't shoot much footage inside, but here at the Silverado Cafe, by 3 o'clock, this place was packed. We had some really great Mexican food, and if you're ever in the Silverado Canyon area, we hope you stop by, because this place is really awesome. Okay, here we are in front of the Silverado, California Post Office. And right in front of the post office, we have this monument sign. And it's kind of here in the middle of the canyon, and we're trying to figure out what the heck is this doing out here. And apparently, back in 1908, there was a hunting party that was going after a bear, a suspected bear that was going after some bees. The hunters eventually tracked this bear down and shot it. The bear was eventually on display in Santa Ana, but then finally made its way to the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, D.C. There, it was determined that this was an elderly female grizzly bear. Yes! The grizzly bear, iconic on our California flag, our state animal, was here in Orange County, California. But sadly, back in 1908, this was the last place that she roamed. So sadly, we lost our California state bear here in Silverado Canyon. The Silverado Canyon Market. Ooh! Rainbow open sign. Let's go inside. What do we got in here? Ooh, cool stuff. We got candles and rocks, ceramics, antiques. Just what I always wanted. Yes! Glass grapes! Naked women and beer. Ooh yeah. Speaking of naked women, nice chest. What happened here? Elvis dissolved? Or is this the Fry Guy gone rogue? Or someone just had a really good time. Hey Patrick, where are you going?
This way.
Thanks explorers for joining us on our Silverado and Modjeska Canyon adventure.
We hope that you had as much fun as we did.
And we hope you join us next time on our next adventure, where we don't just travel,
we explore.
See you next time. Hey, when you listen back to recordings of yourself, do you think that you sound funny?
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, I think you sound funny too.